Liam was a young man who loved technology more than anything else in the world. Ever since he was a boy, he spent most of his time with machines, taking them apart, fixing them, and trying to understand how they worked. He was the kind of child who would spend hours with a broken radio instead of playing outside with other kids. His parents used to joke that wires were in his blood and electricity was in his heart. As Liam grew up, that love of technology only got stronger. He went to college and studied computer engineering. He learned how to make apps, build machines, and write code in many languages. He became a skilled software engineer who could solve very difficult problems with simple ideas. People respected Liam for his intelligence, but they also noticed something else. Liam was lonely. He was good at talking to machines, but not so good at talking to people. It wasn't because he was rude or unfriendly. He just felt more connected to the world of ideas and machines than to human emotions. He believed that one day technology would help people understand each other better, and he wanted to be part of that future. One evening, Liam was in his dimly lit room, surrounded by screens and glowing tools. On his desk stood a strange-looking device, something he had been building for months in secret. It wasn't just another VR headset or a new game console. It was a mind-link interface. He called it the Cerebral Gate. The device was designed to do something no other machine on Earth had done before. It could connect the human mind directly to a virtual world. With this device, a person wouldn't just see or hear a virtual world. They would be in it. They could walk, touch, and even feel emotions inside a space that was not real. Liam believed this was the future of human experience, a way for people to explore dreams, memories, stories, anything without limits. But there was something risky about it. The machine wasn't tested on any humans. It was only tested with code, simulations, and sensors. Liam knew that something could go wrong. But he was too close to give up now. That night, he sat quietly, looking at the Cerebral Gate, feeling a mix of fear and excitement. His heart was beating fast. He wasn't afraid of the machine. He was afraid of what he might find inside himself. But he couldn't turn back. He had spent years working for this moment. Every line of code, every late-night test, every failure and restart, it all led to this. With a slow, deep breath, he placed the device on his head. The visor covered his eyes and the soft frame wrapped around the back of his skull. He pressed the power button. At first, nothing happened. Then suddenly, the world around him began to fade. His room disappeared. His body no longer felt the chair underneath him. The sound of the computer fan stopped. He was floating in pure emptiness. For a moment, Liam thought he was dreaming. The space was dark and cold, silent and endless. But he wasn't afraid. He reached out his hand and felt something solid form under his palm. A glowing wall like glass that appeared from the nothingness. The system was responding. Liam smiled, then a soft light began to grow. A sky took shape, made of pixel clouds and digital air. The ground beneath his feet turned into green grass shaped from code. Trees appeared, tall and beautiful, made of bright shapes but with the soft texture of real leaves. The wind blew gently across his face and he even heard the birds. Though their birdsong was made of data, it still felt real. Liam was inside a world that he had created. A place built from logic, numbers, and imagination, but it felt more real than anything he had ever experienced. "I did it," he whispered. For a while, he simply walked through the digital landscape, touching the trees, feeling the virtual sun on his skin. He felt happy, more alive than ever. But suddenly, something strange happened. The scene around him began to flicker. The sky turned dark, then bright, then dark again. The wind stopped. The trees shook and dissolved into fragments of code. Liam looked around, confused. "No, this isn't right," he said, trying to open the exit menu, but nothing appeared. The system wasn't responding. He tried calling the shutdown function. "Exit program," he commanded. No response. "System reset." Nothing. His heart began to race. He tried to remove the device, but he couldn't. His hands wouldn't lift. His legs wouldn't move. His voice sounded like an echo trapped in a cave. The world around him was collapsing into nothingness. That was when he began to realize the horrible truth. He was stuck. His body in the real world had stopped moving. His consciousness was trapped inside the digital space and the machine had failed. But instead of shutting down, it kept running, pulling his mind deeper inside lines of code that no longer had form or structure. Liam tried to scream, but his voice felt small. He felt his identity fading, his memories slipping. He knew something was very wrong. It felt like he was sinking into darkness. Code turning into shadow, shadow turning into silence. "I'll be like this forever," he whispered softly. His words didn't echo. They were swallowed by the void around him. Back in the real world, Liam sat in his chair, eyes closed, face pale behind the flashing visor. The device remained active, spreading data like tangled roots into his brainwave patterns. No one knew he was trapped. No one knew he needed help. Hours passed. Then a day. Then 2. People tried to wake Liam, but he wouldn't move. They took him to the hospital where doctors looked confused. There was no illness, no injury. He was simply gone. A body without a mind. They called it digital coma. But Liam could still feel. He wasn't dead. He wasn't sleeping. He was alone inside a machine that had betrayed him. A machine he had once trusted more than anything else. Liam's body was still. His eyes were closed, but his face looked peaceful, as if he were dreaming. But the truth was far from a dream. His mind was trapped inside a broken digital world, an endless place without time, sound, or shape. Meanwhile, in the real world, people began to notice Liam's absence. He didn't respond to messages. He didn't show up at work. And days later, he still wasn't answering his phone. His closest friend, Aaron, who also worked in the tech field, decided to visit Liam's apartment, thinking he might be sick. When Aaron walked in, he saw Liam sitting in his chair, still wearing the strange VR device, completely motionless. The room was silent except for the low hum of a computer. Wires were spread across the floor. Screens showed random lines of code looping over and over. At first, Aaron thought Liam was just asleep. But when he got closer, he saw something was wrong. Liam's face looked pale and his body wasn't moving. Not even the rise and fall of breathing was visible. Aaron tried shaking him, tried calling his name, but there was no response. He called the emergency number right away, and soon Liam was taken to the hospital. Doctors ran many tests. They checked his heart, his brain activity, his reflexes. Everything seemed normal except for one strange thing. Liam's brain was active much more than usual. It was like he was dreaming with great intensity, but there was no way to wake him up. "What is this device?" one of the doctors asked, pointing to the strange headset Liam was still wearing. "It's something Liam was working on. I think it's a new type of VR interface," Aaron answered. "Then we need to turn it off," the doctor said, but when they tried, they couldn't. It wouldn't shut down. No matter what buttons they pressed, the device kept glowing. The VR system continued to run. It was almost like it was protecting itself. Days passed and Liam's condition didn't change. His body stayed alive thanks to machines. His mind was trapped inside something no one could understand. People called it a medical mystery. Some said it was a new kind of coma. Others said it was a glitch in technology that had gone too far. But no one could fix it. Not even Aaron, who understood almost everything about computers, could make sense of the code running on Liam's device. The more he tried to break into the system, the more errors appeared. It was as if the program was defending itself from the outside world. Aaron didn't give up. He went to Liam's apartment again, searching through files, notebooks, and voice logs. That's when he found a recording, the last thing Liam ever said before putting on the device. "If I do this right, I'll enter a place no one has ever gone before, a place where dreams become reality. But if I fail, I might not come back." Aaron listened to it again and again, feeling both sadness and guilt. Liam had gone too far, too fast, and no one had been able to stop him. But what Aaron didn't know yet was this. Someone was watching. Someone from far away. In a distant part of the galaxy, a being named Cairo lived in isolation. Cairo was not human. He belonged to an advanced, intelligent alien species called the Novari. The Novari lived in a peaceful and technologically superior world. They explored galaxies, studied life, and believed in balance. But Cairo was different. He had a rare trait, empathy. He felt deeply for others, even for creatures from other worlds. The Novari leaders saw this as a weakness. They believed emotions should not guide decisions. And so, Cairo was exiled, sent to live alone in a quiet space station on the edge of the universe. From there, he watched the stars, monitored energy signals from different worlds, and studied life from afar. He didn't hate his people, but he did feel lonely. He wished he could help someone somewhere. He still believed that kindness mattered more than power. One day, While checking energy patterns from Earth, he saw something unusual. A strange, constant stream of mental energy linked to a machine on that blue planet. The signal was not like anything he had seen before. It wasn't a simple wave. It was a living consciousness trapped in a loop. Cairo studied it carefully. He used advanced scanners and algorithms from his station. Slowly, he began to understand. The signal belonged to a human mind, trapped inside a digital structure. The being was not dead or asleep. They were stuck. He felt a sharp pull inside. A voice in his heart told him that he needed to help. "This life is fading," Cairo said softly to himself. "I must do something." So he prepared a travel pod and set the coordinates for Earth. The night was quiet in the hospital when Cairo arrived. He didn't walk through the front door. Instead, he materialized in Liam's room in a beam of soft blue light. His form was tall and graceful, with silver eyes and skin that looked like soft glass. He wore a simple robe of glowing fabric, nothing like the clothing of Earth. Liam lay in the hospital bed, unmoving. Cairo walked closer, examining the machine connected to Liam. One glance was enough. "This is not just technology," he whispered. "This is a cage." He placed his hand gently on the device. His fingers glowed with pale energy, and the machine reacted. Lights flickered, screens went blank for a moment. Cairo saw the patterns inside the device, saw the twisted lines of code and the digital walls built around Liam's mind. "This code is broken," Cairo said, "but the life inside is still fighting." He closed his eyes and began to speak softly in a language not known on Earth, a healing tone that moved like waves. A dim light came out of the headset and spread over Liam's body. For a moment, Liam's fingers twitched. His pulse slowed, then strengthened again. Cairo opened his eyes. "I found you," he whispered. But he knew that this was just the beginning. The real battle was not with the machine, but inside it. Liam's mind was not simply lost, it was trapped in illusions, in broken memories, in shattered data. Cairo knew what he had to do. He was going to enter the machine and help Liam find his way back. Before he left, he looked at Liam with gentle eyes. "You are not alone," he said softly. Then, with a soft glow of light, Cairo placed his hand over the headset. His body shimmered, and suddenly he was gone. He had entered the digital world. Inside the digital void, Liam felt nothing but darkness. He didn't remember the sky from before. He didn't remember the trees or the grass. He didn't even remember how long he had been there. Every second felt like a whisper. Every minute felt like an hour. And yet, time had no meaning. Sometimes Liam thought he could hear sounds, distant echoes like voices from another world. But they always faded before he could understand them. He felt tired, like a shadow of himself. He wasn't sure if he was still alive, or if this was some kind of dream that he would never wake up from. That was when he heard something new. A voice, soft, steady. A voice that didn't echo or fade. "Liam," the voice said, "you are not alone." Liam tried to open his eyes, but there was no light. "Who are you?" he whispered. "I am here to help," the voice said. "Your world has broken, but you have not." Liam felt something inside him, a tiny spark, like hope. The voice continued, "You are in a place made of code, not of life. But life still lives inside you. I am going to help you find it again." Liam tried to speak, but his voice trembled. "Are you real?" "Yes," the voice said. "I am real, and I am with you." And for the first time in many days, or maybe months, Liam didn't feel alone. Inside the broken digital world, Liam felt confused and afraid. Everything was empty. There was no sky, no ground, no trees, just darkness. His memories came and went like soft waves. He remembered building the machine, testing it, then entering a world that felt real, but now that world was gone. Only silence and coldness remained. Liam tried to move, but it felt like his body was heavy, almost not his own. He didn't know if he was dreaming or alive. He couldn't hear anyone or anything. He felt alone, completely and painfully alone. But then the darkness around him started to change. A tiny point of light appeared in the distance. At first, Liam wasn't sure if it was real. It flickered like a candle flame, soft but growing brighter. Slowly, it became larger, like a star falling toward him. He watched, filled with both hope and fear, unsure what was happening. Then the light took a shape. It wasn't a shadow or a trick of the eye. It was a person, tall, with a smooth glow around their body as if made of soft energy. They moved slowly, calmly, and gently. They weren't human, but they had a face full of understanding and kindness. Liam stared, frozen. He didn't know if the being was an illusion, a glitch, or something real. Who are you? Liam spoke, his voice echoing in the dark space. The figure stepped closer. My name is Cairo, the being said with a voice that sounded gentle and warm. I come from far away to help you. Liam blinked. Help me? Why? Where am I? You are inside your own creation, Cairo replied. But the machine that holds you has broken. Your mind has become trapped in the space between reality and code. Liam tried to understand the words, but everything felt too big, too confusing. He closed his eyes, trying to think clearly. So, I'm not dead? No, Cairo said. But you are not free either. Liam felt a tear form in his eye, even though this wasn't truly his real body. The emotion was real and it hurt. How long have I been here? Time works differently in this space, Cairo said. But in your world, many days have passed. Liam lowered his head. He imagined his friends, his family. Aaron, they must be worried. They must think he gave up on life. He felt guilt rise in his chest, heavy and sharp. Cairo stepped closer, placing a hand gently on Liam's shoulder. Though Cairo's hand was made of light, it felt real, comforting. You are not forgotten, Cairo said. There are people trying to save you, and you are not alone now. I am here. Liam looked up into Cairo's silver eyes. But why would you help me? You don't even know me. Cairo paused, then spoke softly. I know what it feels like to be lost, to be stuck between where you are and where you wish to be. I know what it's like to be alone when no one hears your voice. Liam didn't understand everything about Cairo, but he felt the truth in those words, the sadness behind them, the honesty. Liam nodded slowly. So, can you get me out of here? Cairo looked around at the empty digital void. Yes, but it will not be easy. You built this world. Parts of it are broken. Some of it is confusing, even to you. To leave, you must face the parts of yourself that were trapped here. Liam swallowed. I don't understand. This world is not only made of code, Cairo explained. It is made of pieces of your mind, your memories, your emotions, your fears. When the machine broke, these things got twisted and trapped with you. We must go through them, fix what is broken, and find the way back. Liam felt nervous. And if I fail? Cairo's expression softened. Then we try again. You do not fail alone. Liam took a slow breath. He wasn't sure he was strong enough, but for the first time in a long while, he didn't feel alone. Even in this strange, broken digital prison, he had someone by his side. Okay, Liam said. Let's try. Cairo nodded, and suddenly the darkness around them began to shift. Shapes appeared like blurry windows floating in the air. One window showed a playground. Little Liam sitting alone on a swing, watching other kids laugh and play. Another showed Liam at his desk in college coding for hours by himself, while others hung out. Another showed the time he rejected a friend's invitation to a party so he could stay home and work. These are pieces of your life, Cairo said gently. Parts you have forgotten, or tried to forget. Liam felt his chest tighten. I don't want to see this. To leave this place, Cairo said, you must understand what has been stuck inside you. These memories are not here to hurt you. They are here to be healed. Liam looked at the floating images and felt sadness, fear, and regret all at once. He realized then that this world wasn't just a code prison. It was a reflection of things he had been running from for years. I always thought I was okay on my own. Liam whispered. You believed that being alone made you strong, Cairo replied. But strength also comes from connection. That is why I am here. Not just to break the code that traps you, but to remind you of what you lost along the way. Liam closed his eyes. He didn't want to cry. He didn't want to admit that he had been lonely for so long, not because others left him, but because he shut them out. Suddenly, the dark space around them changed again. The ground formed beneath their feet made of old computer parts, wires, circuits, bits of broken glass. The sky above turned into a screen of error messages, glitchy and red. This is what the world inside has become, Cairo said. Confusion, fear, brokenness. A loud crack sounded in the distance. Liam turned and saw a wall of code, long, angry lines of numbers and commands rising like a storm. The wall moved toward them, spreading darkness. It's the error loop, Cairo said calmly. The part of the program that repeats your fear. The fear that you will never escape. Liam felt panic inside him.
We need to run.
No, Cairo said. We need to face it. Liam stared at him like he was crazy. But Cairo raised his glowing hand and the wall of broken code slowed. It was as if Cairo's presence weakened the power of the error. Look at it, Cairo said to Liam. See it not as a wall, but as what it truly is. Liam stared at the wall again. At first all he saw was chaos. But as he looked more closely, he noticed something. Words buried inside the code. Words he had once spoken to himself. I'm not good enough. I'm wasting time. No one cares what I'm building. I'm alone. Liam's breath caught. These thoughts weren't just random errors. They were his own fear written into the machine. I didn't know, he whispered. You were afraid, Cairo said softly, and fear builds walls. But now you see them. And seeing is the first step to breaking them. Liam nodded slowly, feeling both ashamed and relieved. What do I do now? He asked. Cairo smiled gently. Walk into it. Break it. Liam hesitated, but he finally stepped forward, toward the wall of fear and code. As he did, he whispered words he hadn't said in a long time. I'm not alone. I don't have to do this alone. The wall flickered, then piece by piece it dissolved. The sky cleared. The ground became smooth. Liam looked back at Cairo, emotional and stunned. It worked. Yes, Cairo said. Because you faced the truth. Liam felt a warmth rise inside him. He knew that this was just the beginning. There were more broken pieces of this world, and more fear to uncover. But now, he was not afraid to face them, and he wasn't alone anymore. Liam stood in the newly cleared space, feeling both relieved and exhausted. He had just faced a terrifying wall of fear in the form of glitching code and broken memories. But with Cairo's help, he had started to break through it. For the first time since being trapped, his mind felt clearer, and he felt a little hope inside him. But Liam knew this was just one step, and there were more challenges ahead. Cairo turned to him with a gentle, steady expression. You did well, Cairo said. You faced your fear. Liam nodded, breathing slowly. He didn't feel fully safe, but he wasn't lost anymore. What happens now? He asked. There are more walls inside this place, Cairo said. More parts of your mind and your code that are broken or trapped. To leave this world, we must find them and fix them. Liam walked forward, not sure what he would find next. The world around them began to change again. The floor of broken hardware faded, and the sky above, once filled with glitching code, turned into something clearer. In front of them appeared a new scene, like a memory turned into reality. It was Liam's bedroom from when he was a teenager. Papers and gadgets were scattered everywhere. His old computer screen glowed with lines of code. And sitting in the middle of the room was a younger version of Liam, 15 years old, frustrated and tired. Young Liam was staring at a broken piece of hardware on his desk, tears in his eyes. He whispered to himself, I'm just not good enough. I can't fix this. I'm not smart like the others. Liam stopped walking and stared at the scene. His chest tightened painfully. He remembered this moment. It was the first time he had ever doubted himself deeply. He had been so proud of his creativity and skills, but when something he built failed, he blamed himself. That day, Liam whispered, I didn't talk to anyone. I didn't ask for help. I just felt useless. Cairo looked at him kindly. You carried that feeling for many years. That belief, I am not enough, became part of the prison here. Liam watched his younger self cry in silence. He wanted to go to him to comfort him, but he wasn't sure how. What can I do now? He asked Cairo. Cairo stepped closer to the scene. You must speak. You must tell him what you know now. Liam hesitated. But Dud, it's just a memory. He can't hear me. Cairo turned to Liam with calm eyes. This memory is alive in you. It shapes how you think and feel. Speak to it. Change it. Liam swallowed thickly. He kneeled down near the memory of his younger self. Hey, Liam said softly. I know how you feel. I know you're scared. But failing doesn't mean you're not smart. It doesn't mean you're not good enough. Young Liam didn't respond, but the tears stopped flowing. Liam continued, voice a little stronger now. You don't have to do everything alone. People care about you even when you fail. You are not alone even when you think you are. The walls of the bedroom began to fade. The younger version of Liam stood up slowly. and his form turned into soft light before disappearing like dust in the wind. Liam stood up, looking emotional but calmer than before. "I didn't know how much that moment hurt me," he said. "I thought I'd forgotten it." Cairo nodded. "Pain that is ignored becomes heavy. You carried it for a long time." As the bedroom faded completely, a new world took shape around them. It was a large workshop, Liam's first professional job. Computers rested on wooden tables, wires everywhere, blinking lights. Liam remembered this place. It was where his love for technology turned into a career. But something wasn't right. In the center of the workshop was Liam, a few years older now, typing on a laptop. He was surrounded by people, co-workers, but none of them spoke to him. They just passed by, lost in their own work. Liam was trying to speak, his voice quiet and unsure. "I think I found a way to solve the error," he said. Nobody answered. He tried again, louder. "There's a fix for the problem with the engine module. I've been working on it." Still, no response. Liam watched the scene, feeling a sting in his chest. He remembered this day too. He had been so proud of his work, but nobody had listened. He had felt invisible, like his voice didn't matter. "I wasn't ignored because they hated me," Liam whispered. "They were just busy." "But I took it personally," Cairo nodded. "Loneliness does not always come from being alone. It can come from not feeling seen." Liam looked at Cairo with sad eyes. "All this time I used technology to feel seen. I wanted to create something amazing so people would notice me. But instead I just went deeper into my work and more into isolation." Cairo placed a hand gently on Liam's back. "It is not wrong to love what you build, but love is strongest when shared. You shut yourself off from others, not because you didn't care, but because you were afraid." Liam nodded again, slowly. "I thought if I talked, or shared my feelings, I'd look weak." "You are not weak," Cairo said. "Your silence was a shield, but you no longer need to wear it here." The workshop began to unravel. The blurry shapes of the workers dissolved and the walls disappeared until nothing was left but darkness again. Liam sighed deeply. "There's still more, isn't there?" "Yes," Cairo said. "But we are getting closer." Suddenly the world changed once more, this time into something much darker. There were no memories this time, no people, just a vast space filled with machines, cold, unmoving machines, stacked like towers in all directions. Each machine had a screen. Each screen showed a different version of Liam, older, more tired, more alone. Some versions showed Liam sitting in empty rooms, typing. Others showed Liam smiling, but with sad eyes. One version sat completely still inside a dark room, staring at nothing. These versions were not memories. They were possibilities. They were lives that Liam could have lived if he had never escaped, never reached out, never let others in. "What is this?" Liam asked, voice trembling slightly. "This is the world you feared most," Cairo said. "A world where your life becomes only the machine. Your identity lost inside the work. Your voice gone. Your soul forgotten." Liam felt numb. "I didn't want this, I just..." Didn't know how to stop it. Cairo stepped closer. "You tried to become more than human, someone connected to everything. But the truth you forgot is this. Being human is not a weakness. It is the reason connection matters." Liam felt tears sting his eyes again. He stared at the many versions of himself and whispered, "I don't want to stay here. I don't want to be this." "Then leave," Cairo said calmly. "Choose yourself. Choose connection." Liam closed his eyes. He took a deep breath, slower and stronger than he had in a long time, and he spoke, loudly. "I am not just code. I am not just alone. I deserve to live. I deserve to feel. I deserve to be more than a machine." The screens began to break, not with violence but with peaceful light. Each version of Liam faded into brightness like stars turning into morning. The machines disappeared. The space cleared. Liam opened his eyes, breathing hard, but he felt lighter than ever. It was as if a heavy weight inside him had been lifted, a weight he didn't even know he was carrying. Cairo looked at him with a soft smile. "There is only one more door to open," he said. Liam nodded, feeling stronger. "And what's behind it?" Cairo paused. "Your belief," Liam blinked. "Belief?" "Yes," Cairo said. "You built this world with your hands, but also with your heart. To leave it, you must believe you deserve to return." Liam stared ahead as a new doorway appeared. It glowed a soft blue with no lock, no code, no trap. It was simple, a way home. But Liam hesitated. "What if I'm not ready?" Cairo stepped closer. You are ready because you are willing, and you are not going alone. Liam turned to Cairo, eyes full of emotion. Thank you, he whispered, for helping me. Cairo placed a hand over his own heart. You helped yourself. I only reminded you, Liam nodded. He took a deep breath and walked through the doorway. And as he did, he felt the world around him break open like a shell cracking to let the light in. He felt his mind returning like a long journey ending. All that remained now was waking up. The universe around Liam was shifting once more. But this time it wasn't collapsing into chaos, it was rebuilding itself with light, color, and clarity that he had never seen before. The void that had haunted him for so long now opened into a horizon of stars, glowing like diamonds placed across an endless velvet sky. The familiar voice of Arian, the exiled alien, echoed in Liam's mind. But now it was clear, steady, and full of life. You are free, Liam, Arian said, but the path ahead is yours to choose. Liam stood still, feeling time itself pause, as though the very laws of existence waited for his next step. He was no longer trapped in the collapsing digital world. The glitching sky, the broken trees, the fading memories, all of that was gone. Instead, he was standing on what looked like a bridge of shimmering energy, floating through space. On one side he saw Earth, its blue seas, green forests, and white clouds moving gently. On the other side he saw a world he didn't recognize, full of strange colors and shapes, alive with endless possibilities. Liam felt his heart beat fast. His freedom had come with a choice. I don't understand, Liam whispered. Where am I now? What world is that? Arian's voice was gentle. You are between worlds, Liam. Not just between planets, but between realities. One side is the life you knew on Earth, the other is my world. The world of the exiled, the forgotten, the dreamers. A place where minds can create without limit. Liam felt like his entire being was pulled in two directions. On Earth he had parents, friends he never truly connected with, a normal life that felt so distant now. And yet it was still real. It was home. But the world of the exiled aliens, it called to him. It was a place built for imagination, for life beyond physical limits, a place where he wouldn't just exist, he could become. Liam turned to look at Earth again. He saw himself sitting in the hospital bed, body still but heart beating. Machines around him blinked and beeped. Nurses walked around taking notes. A doctor stood next to his bed, shaking his head as if he didn't know what more to try. His parents were there too. They looked older from worry. He saw his mother holding his hand and speaking softly, even though she knew he couldn't hear her. He saw his father sitting by the window, staring outside, lost in his thoughts, holding back tears. The sight made Liam's chest hurt. His parents had suffered because of him. They didn't understand the world he wanted to touch. They didn't know how to help him, yet they stayed by his side. Liam turned away, shaking inside. What should he do? What could he do? Arian spoke again, but this time there was a note of sadness in the voice. You must choose, Liam. I cannot choose for you. You can return to your world, to your body. You will live again among your people, but you will leave behind the power of this place. You will be bound by your world's rules. And the other choice? Liam asked. You can come with me. I will take you to the world of the exiled. You will be free from all limits. You will have a new form, a new beginning, and a new purpose. But you will not see Earth again. Liam closed his eyes. Both choices filled him with both fear and wonder. But something inside him pushed him to think deeper, not only about what he wanted, but about what he was meant to do. He remembered the sadness in his parents' eyes. He remembered the dreams he had of technology helping people, not hurting them. He remembered the harm he never meant to cause. He felt a warm touch. It was Arian's light resting on his shoulder. You are not alone, Liam. Your heart is brave. Trust it. Liam opened his eyes and looked at the bridge beneath him. The shimmering light responded to his thoughts, creating symbols beneath his feet. He took a slow, deep breath. I know what I must do, he said. With his eyes fixed on Earth, Liam stepped forward. The world of the exiled rippled behind him and began to disappear. Arian's presence felt farther away, but then a soft glow filled Liam's mind. You chose love, Arian said quietly, the greatest choice of all. I will always remember you. The bridge vanished. The stars faded. The light dimmed, and Liam felt himself falling into darkness, gentle this time. He was no longer trapped. He was going back. Back home. Liam opened his eyes. At first, everything felt blurry, like he was looking through fog. His body was stiff, like it had been asleep for 1,000 years. Voices buzzed around him, but he couldn't make out the words. Then slowly, he saw the world. He was lying in a hospital bed. His mother was beside him. Her face was shocked, tears running down her cheeks. His father stood behind her, frozen in disbelief. "Liam?" his mother whispered, voice shaking. He blinked, trying to smile. His body felt weak, but his heart was full. "I'm here," he said softly. The room filled with emotion. Nurses rushed in, calling for doctors. His parents hugged him gently, afraid to let go. And Liam felt something he had almost forgotten. He felt present. He wasn't in a world of code or a dream of stars. He was alive, breathing, and real. Later, when he was strong enough to speak more, doctors came and asked what he remembered. Liam tried to explain, but he knew they wouldn't understand the truth. So he said he had been dreaming, a long dream, and in that dream, he learned something. A doctor nodded slowly, thinking it was all part of a recovery hallucination. "It's amazing you came back," the doctor said. "Your brain activity, it was like you were lost somewhere, but something brought you back." Liam smiled. He knew what it was. It was the choice he made, and the friend who helped him. Weeks passed and Liam slowly recovered. He went home, met his friends again, and even went back to his old workshop. But something had changed inside him. He no longer wanted to create machines to escape into. He wanted to build things that would help people connect, not just with virtual worlds, but with themselves. He started a new project, inspired by what he had learned from Aryan. It wasn't a machine that pulled the mind away. It was a tool that helped people share their feelings better. A device that translated emotions into simple messages of light and sound, helping people understand each other beyond words. He called it HeartLink. It wasn't powerful or flashy, but it was real. And when he showed it to his parents, his mother cried, not because she understood how it worked, but because she knew it came from a place of love. One night, as Liam sat alone in his workshop, he looked up at the sky through the window. The stars were bright, silent, and distant. "Thank you, Aryan," he whispered, and high in the universe, beyond the reach of any telescope, a gentle pulse of light seemed to glow for a moment, like a friend waving back. Liam knew he would never see that world again, but that didn't matter, because a small piece of that world had come back with him in his heart, and that was more than enough.